How's it going, guys? Again, Cody, guys, back for part 2. As you can tell from the title of the video, this is a continuation of letters that I received from Ian Brady. If you didn't watch video 1, I don't have the letters from Brady anymore. I had copies of about 6 of the letters. I received a lot more letters from Brady than that, but I had copies of 6. Because his handwriting, as you can see from the beginning of the video, is very hard to read. It's pretty much illegible. I've spent several hours reading the letters, reading the scans of the letters over and over, and then writing down in my own hand so I can then relay them to you. 14th of October 2015, Brady writes, "Dear Cody, just a quick note to confirm receipt of your letter dated 23rd of July and family photos, etc. Why it took 3 weeks for the letters and photos to reach me, I've no idea. I've also replied to your previous letters and batch of photos, yet all the letters query whether I have replied. So obviously, some letters are either crossing in the post or being deliberately delayed. As you know, a hack journalist named Duncan Staff stole all my pictures, my albums and negatives of family, friends, places, etc. I enclose one of the many mocked up photos sent to me from the internet, which of course I have no access. It shows my head on a second class stamp. As people with computers now can easily download all the music they want, I compile only original film soundtracks onto tape, which is much more difficult. So I enclose a 90-minute video compilation of film soundtracks along with a written list of detailed tape contents. Best wishes, signed Ian Stewart Brady." Right, this is letter 4. 31st of August 2015, Brady writes, "Dear Cody, thanks for your August letters and the 2 Schaefer pen refills. The Pick Station," talking about Piccadilly Station, we call it Pick Station. "The Pick Station fire station, over from it on London Road, is the Robin Hood pub, listed and renamed, where in the left front lounge I used to meet a Scottish friend who ran some girls out." And so we're talking about his friend had some like prostitutes and stuff. He must have been in charge of them. "I used to meet," so he says here, Out in the last meeting, his right arm was in plaster from smashing a plate glass window. Yes, I've given my solicitors instructions reference Palfrey and Soates." Talking about the Feral Book Publishing Company, Adam Palfrey and Peter Soates, who published the second edition without Brady's permission. If you watch the first video, it'll all make sense. "But when free, it was the last time I relied on the law for anything, especially so now. Of course, my American friends have also been informed. Yes, it is public knowledge that I'll be cremated in Glasgow." It wasn't public knowledge, trust me. "Your kind offer to provide certain services at the event," talking about his funeral. "I offered a fake security at his funeral with gangland associates and stuff. It wasn't a genuine offer. I just wanted to see if I could get his funeral plans out of him, what he wanted to happen, and if he would have given us access to his body, it would have been dragged through the streets, guys. Simple as that." So it says it's public knowledge, I'll be cremated. "Your kind offer to provide certain services at what he calls the event with associates, etc. That would be perfectly acceptable and prudent in the historically historical and exploitative circumstances. Thank you." The 2 printouts reference Dr. Kitely, right? He had sold stories on Brady, and I wanted to get him out of the picture, so I sent the articles to Brady to get him out of the fucking picture. It worked. So it says here, right? So "As I stated, I stopped all social visits and phone calls in 1998 when Merseycare POA Trust made Ashworth a regressive prison. I kept asking him and asking him and asking him. I wanted to get him in a room so I could attack him, but he wouldn't ring me, he wouldn't let me go on a visit, fucking fuming. I asked and I asked and I asked. My persistence was key, came to nothing, but God knows I tried. I would have attacked him on site, sample, and I would have gone to the media, I would have got arrested, I would have stood up in court and I would have bragged about it. Simple." So yeah, it goes on to say, "And anyway, I never spoke openly on Ashworth's phone." Ashworth is obviously the secure hospital. There's 3 in the country. You've got Rampton, you've got Broadmoor, and you've got Ashworth, of course. "And with Dr. Kitely, it was about bets. I put on French horse races where I was always lucky." So Brady used to ring Dr. Alan Kitely. Google the guy, he looks like a freak. And Brady used to tell him which horses he wanted Kitely to put money on, and apparently he was very lucky, Brady. As for the delusional incident, I can't remember what this reference is. Paradoxically, typical that one instance caused by hunger strike, medication and sleep deprivation at Parkhurst Prison in the 1970s can be construed as delusional, in which case every person who's ever been drunk might more unjustifiably earn the same title. No, we had a talking about firearms again. No, we had a 45, a 38, a precision rifle when arrested, and the 9mm and 303 rifle were stored at another address. I sent him a book, right? He was raised in the Gorbals, he was born in the Gorbals district of Glasgow, a rundown slum. I found a book online, a brand new book about old pictures from when Brady was a kid, like the time that Brady was a kid back in Gorbals. So I sent it to him. So Brady says, the Gorbals and Oatlands book you sent actually had a photo of my London Street backyard on the front cover. Yes, as I ran booze and gambling in the Hatfield Borstal, I understandably got drunk on whiskey one evening there. Germany. I asked him if he'd ever been to Germany. I went to Berlin, Hamburg, Munich, Nuremberg, the Zeppelin Field Open Stadium. Surprisingly, obviously, as you might know, Brady had a fascination with Hitler. Hitler did a massive, massive speech there, and he wanted to see it for himself, so he went there. It still remains to this day. Your sister, because my sister was in Germany at the time travelling, your sister should have visited it, but she can still see it in the 1934 rally, formerly Lorney Rapstall, in Triumph of the Will, known as the best documentary ever made. Again, you're talking about Nazi Germany, you're talking about Hitler. On Schudill, there used to be the Hare and Hounds. Off it, at Smithfield Market, the George. Up Rochdale Road was the Balmoral. Obviously talking about pubs here. The Millers, the Darley, the Old Room, the Red Lion, etc. The photos of me, I talked about, there was a picture of him. You can Google it and you'll find the picture. Brady's in a black shirt with a white tie. I asked him where this picture was taken. And he said, the photo of me in the black shirt and white tie was taken when I was 15, the night I arrived in Manchester after the Glasgow Sheriff Court ordered me down here. The house was in Moss Side, Little Africa as it was known back then. His words, not mine. I soon rang with a gang and had useful contacts in the black clubs. They're all changed now, of course. Denmark Road, this is one of the places he lived. I also lived in Openshaw, Longside, etc., areas of Manchester, etc. Yes, we know Green. Listen to this, right now, where the bodies are. It's like Greenfield up onto Saddleworth Moor. Yeah, it leads up to where Keith Bennett's memorial is. So I said to Brady, "Do you know these areas?" Because obviously he knew them. So he put, "Yes, we know." Talking about him and Myra. Yes, we know Greenfield and the heights above to Holmfirth, etc. Listen to this, guys. Very well. We used the pine forest by the reservoir for target practice. Probably the bullet-ridden jerry cans are still rusting there. No, I use books from the libraries to study accountancy, housing laws, etc. Then on to the British Institute for Psychology. Being a YP, talking about when he was a youth offender, he was on C2. He's talking about when he was in Strangeways here. He used to go to Strangeways Library where he would study accountancy and housing laws. Then he apparently he studied something to do with the British Institute for Psychology. Being a YP, young prisoner. Then I was on C2, right? C's the wing, 2's the landing, with the PDs below and the stars above. I made good contacts. I assume you recognised the tape compilation of film soundtracks. I'm assuming you received the tape compilation of film soundtracks. I only visited Canal Street twice on business. Back then, there was no security on the pubs and clubs. And then he goes on to say, I've only bothered to read 4 of the dozen of the personalised books they intended to make. Talking about there was going to be people going to write books on Brady. There was going to make films and stuff. And Brady's talking about here and the legal action he took to stop it. So of the dozen of personalised books, they intended to make films about in order to take successful legal action to stop them. But only Hollywood films, unfortunately, TV documentaries and films, TV films don't require legal release contracts and can't be stopped. Excuse the bedridden handwriting. Best wishes, signed Ian Stewart Brady. P.S. I enclose DVD Inception. I recognise all the faces in the photos you sent. That was another like letter that I wrote, that I received from Brady, guys. So I'm going to move on, guys. I'm going to do there's 2 more letters, guys. My battery's really low because, like I said, I've been several hours trying to read these to you, writing them down so I could read them to you guys. Let me know what you think of the content about the letters. Are you reading between the lines? What do you make of what he's saying? Put your comments in the comment section below, and I'll continue with part 3, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.